It's another hood nigga production, yo. Barcelona, sweet, B, got unconditional love like Tupac.
So says the writer who could no longer write. This is the end of the show. When I figured out the puzzle, perhaps Dominus Litis is me. If he wasn't, I could live without him, but I can't. I guess I was destined to meet my destiny in a poem titled Destined to Be. See, I finally found the one who makes my heart dance, my last chance at happiness is in her eyes. How wonderful it is to find beauty as it is defined. While searching for her, I won't lie. Too many times have I almost strayed. See, I lost my way, but found myself while pickpocketing my soul, searching for something valuable. Should I start it over? Yeah. See, I was destined to meet my destiny. Sorry. Welcome. See, okay, let me get everyone's attention again. When I say what you say what? It's quite impossible to understand the human nature from a poet's perspective. Say what? I said it's impossible to understand the human nature from a poet's perspective. Say what? Say what? See, I was destined to meet my destiny in a poem titled Destined to Be. See, I have finally found the one who makes my heart dance, my last chance at happiness is in her eyes. How wonderful it is to find beauty as it is defined. While searching for her, I won't lie. Too many times have I almost strayed. See, I lost my way but found myself while pickpocketing my soul, searching for something valuable, like a moral in a parable. See, I found what my purpose is. It's my reason to live is to give life. In every line I write, a lifeline taken from mine. For the purpose of the poet is to finally die. For his work to be irrelevant. Because when the world is healthy, there'll be no more reason to heal. No more reason to force people to feel something real is worthwhile to the one with the appreciative eye who looks inside in order to find out where is north when everything goes south, and giving up east, the west part. Navigating down this path has made me tighten my loose ties with art. It has forced me to start, but not to remain idle, but to drive, even though I may sometimes fail to clutch balance. I start again, for I have a date with destiny. A date destined to be the day that my dreams drown my reality. To death I send my fears. Now I am able to remain unfazed when acknowledging when I have failed. For I am just a scholar of life who seeks knowledge weighed hard, because to learn is to earn. A few cents of self accumulates wealth, rich in ambition, but my bank balance falls short of being poor. With lips that cure, destiny said, perhaps your success and failure shouldn't be determined by a piece of paper. In fact, your purpose is even greater. It was her words that would say, if your time and space doesn't allow you to give yourself credit where it is due, all because the success of your peers appears to evoke you with fears of getting left behind like an unwanted child who adopts negative thoughts of inadequacy, forgetting that for you to accurately see how close you are to me, your destiny is knowing that what you've always been looking for has also been looking for you. And at times you get lost because you took directions from doubt, doubting whether you're in or you're out. That's not how you deal with a woman as real as poetry with water and sea. If you are to be a patient of time, won't you eventually reap what you sow? Continuing to grow because you are deeply rooted, not in what you think, but rather in what you know. For each and every poem to ever escape my soul belongs to a poet who found hope and decided to poet on a canvas and like a portrait. Captures a wandering eye, his poems always capture a wandering mind. A mind always wondering why is a mindful mind. A mindful mind that doesn't mind being the mind that minds. Digging deep. A mindful mind that doesn't mind being the mind that minds. Digging deep because to seek is the least I can do to find. The answers that lie inside are breadcrumbs left behind by the Most High time. Destiny and I together. A fate we can't escape. See, my destiny is to be one with destiny. For us to make love and perhaps she will fall pregnant with the possibility of finally giving birth to my dreams. My dream is not an individual dream. My dream is a dream I share with my movement. My movement's name is Eve's Apple. Did you guys see the bed outside? Eve's Apple is a poetry movement that is changing the world 2 years at a time. And today I am not alone.
I write what I feel what I write, and hopefully I shall lead you to the light. Look, my goal is to make the cripple stand for what's right, so I write. I'm voice of silence, the subconscious, the voice of your insistence. It's like I dropped the sperm in a dictionary, I give life to words and meaning to thoughts. I'm not standing between you and God, I'm Moses. A message of God. I'm a pen slayer, word magician, fire breathing, super being. Nothing like the eye has seen. So dare to say, because I've been sent to alter the world with just the pen, become just the sign of what's soon to come. And judgment to those who dare not to repent. Look, my lines are rock solid like the 10 Commandments, so it's hard to understand my writing. I mean, sometimes literally hard to understand my writing.
I just want to find out, just a quick question. What's one word, or how would you describe Eve's Apple for those who know Eve's Apple? What's just one word you would describe Eve's Apple with? Delivery.
Anyone else?
Fruitful thoughts. It is the apple.
It is the juicy apple.
What about you?
One thing I would say to describe it, there's a lot, bro. But one thing I would say to describe this apple is that we crazy and amazing, amusing, confusing, we artists, you get this.
The senses, because the system can sense us. If you don't mind, please take time to come fetch us from these dark and dingy corners where society has lost us.
We're outcasts, hence we're acting out. But they like to hear about what we about.
Hear about what we about, because we crazy, creative and conscious.
That's the triple C's of an artist.
Art is what is life to the living human who's scared of dying, yet holding on to something, yet tired of running away from the voices that say, come this way, this way. Way too many of them go that way.
Hey, hey. Don't let them lead you astray. One of a kind. See, you are that kind that the rest of mankind think they've lost their mind.
Mind you, they take the time to come sit in a crowd to hear me think out loud. Together we dig deep down where in this mind I found the sound of happiness. There she stands in a dress. She told me, I was sent. Why can't you get that?
I took a step back, then a deep sigh. Then she said, yes, you were sent, with this gift in hand. So keep in mind that you're different, and don't you dare try to fit in, for the system will make you doubt this. So artist, Your art is no curse.
but rather the best songstress to ever sing a tune that only you are able to notice the emotions of this hopeless romantic that is my artist. Her heart is the substance that introduced me to your highness.
I am taken by your highness to rest on the clouds and write sweet poems about love. This art is like oxygen to the heart. So artist,
your art is you, your art is you, your art is true. Artist, your art is life, your art is soul, your art is true. So stay true to you. To you I grew. Clues that confuse you are not listening to me if you do not see the crazy in me.
It's actually the Einstein in me. I'm outstanding, you see. I don't have to step out to prove it. You love it. You just hate that you can box it.
Force it to remain a fossil. Couldn't get out of Shakespeare's closet.
I
know you probably think that I've lost it. I know you probably think that I've lost it, and to be honest, I think I have. I've lost the ability to understand how you think I can stop the voices in my head from controlling this pen. They have a connection that you could never understand.
It's one of some kind, because it has survived brainstorms. See, ink and paper make a good love potion. This passion sometimes drives me crazy, but I'm not complaining. I've cut the brakes.
And I'm heading straight down memory lane to remind you. We're crazy yet amazing. These are not just noises we are making. Poetry is not just a plaything for entertainment. It's the reason why the world is changing. 2 years at a time. Why the world is changing. 2 years at a time, I crumble inside to rebuild in a line.
And with time, I get better each time. I spit these lines to mend and restore what was safely stored in ribs cages.
Because I write from the heart, and poetry is like blood that flows in a movement that sustains my soul. And when I bleed, soon after I will heal not only myself but anyone else who needs to know that you are not alone. For poetry is a whole.
And for each poem
that connects a soul to hope. Poetry is a candle rope that gives light of hope with its own life.
Okay, man. Like an artist teaches his own life. Yeah. Hey guys. Wow. You enjoyed the show? So what we're going to do, I'm going to say, it's hard to understand the human nature from a poet's perspective. You say what? Ne? Remember, as loud as you can. Ne? Otherwise, I can make it. Your break depends on this. It's hard to understand the human nature from a poet's perspective. Say what? The human nature from a poet's perspective. Say what? To understand the human nature from a poet's perspective. Say what? Say what? Okay, guys, this is what I break. A short break. Coaching J, have a look around. I told you about the stove around. Have a look around, guys, and then we're gonna be back with more.
It's another hood nigga production, yo. Barcelona, sweet.
Not so fast! I stopped myself with the words, not so fast. Taking it down and thrust. Maybe this is all moving too fast. Telling a story and not knowing where to start. seems to be my biggest problem these days. I find it hard to explain how this fast life passes like that moment just before you lose your life. To tell you the truth, some of you still need to feeling worth less than a white person's dog before you could ever judge me. See, at least its funeral isn't short, like it's 3 meals a day, but to me, it's 3 meals a week. Yes, this is another sad story of another stray dog in these streets. Now you tell me, how do you expect me to be strong if the body is weak? It demands I feed, whether it be flesh or meat, kill or be killed. See, my heart was filled with an enormous amount of emptiness. See, I had no choice than to make poor choices, because when you're poor, your only choice is survival. It's a primal instinct, isn't it? The reason why I swallow my pride and ask for help in a society that feels insecure about us being amongst them are those who don't even respond when you speak as you plead for something to eat. Doubting if it even matters that the matter in my human fabric confirms I exist, like my 2 little kids, who because of them, I'd regret being alive every time I mistakenly glance into their eyes. Deep inside is a deep dislike, the deepest kind. It's as if they knew that how we lived wasn't life. They questioned me with their eyes. Did I think about their lives before deciding to give them life? Did I think twice about being a father to a child? No. 2. One 13 and the other one 5. For all of their lives, the dark cloud of poverty and squalor followed close by, like the burden of being a father who cannot provide, because in his previous life he was too cool for school is for you and not for me. The only logical education I got was in these streets. My father figures were these burglars and thieves who had a few good reasons for doing bad deeds, like taking care of their kids and making sure that they never grow up to be like these burglars and thieves. That's when I decided never again to beg. See, I too am a man. When doors close, I find a window. After I break it, I take it. Anything valuable that you thought was safe in your car when you went in for a few things in Spa. I probably make a few hundreds of your stuff. But for a junkie like me, that's hardly enough. So I started visiting when no one's home. Ho, ho, ho. It's Christmas. I started visiting when no one's home. Ho, ho, ho. It's Christmas. I open your fridge to get something to eat first. I take out my gun, put it on the table, so I can properly enjoy this meal. It's my first one this week. And as I looked around for something to steal, I had no clue that tonight would turn out to be the wrong turn for me. She was just 13. I was supposed to be home alone, but I guess I wasn't, and neither was she. The reality of a burglary made her scream, but it really became real when her blood began to seep through the gun wound that would not exist if the bullet didn't exit after I pulled the trigger. When my reflex reached that rifle, I remember the sight of her blood triggered a trigonometry of regret and remorse, and as the reality of taking the child the same age as mine torments my mind. Even jail time can't make amends for this crime, and that's why I have this gun against my head, because the thought of being alive blows my mind. Praying to God to take my life instead, and exchange my life for hers, to forget my fears of death. I close my eyes and pull the trigger that would send the bullet to end my life.
Not so fast! Not so fast!
Not so fast, thank God. See, only he can judge, and that's why all I can do is cry and wonder why I'm still alive. Bedridden and paralyzed. Only a spectacle for these pair of eyes who judge the disabled men who killed a child, and like them, I wonder why. It was when he landed his last blow that might have broken a few of her bones, leaving her lying on the floor with a broken jaw. She endured how behind her closed doors she lived with the cause of her depression, refreshing thoughts of suicide, desire her life. See, if she dies, finally to close her eyes for the last time, she won't witness the image of a victim when she looks into a mirror to wipe away each tear to stray down her face, faced with the pain and stuck with the shame of being the mother of a para. I guess this is just another tale of how the ghetto remains the #1 place for a black child to lose sight of a better life. When he turned to drugs, at first it was a way to escape, but as his tolerance would rise, his eyes could no longer recognize wrong from right. This is the story of the mother of a para. At night, she would shiver in fear at the sounds of the flickers that came from the lighter that would ignite the pipe he would smoke at night, and every day his morals would fade. His relationship with people had changed, made a slave to a life of being bogus. No love life, always focused on that crack pipe. I mean, who would want a man who can't take care of himself? Though he was a man with needs, he didn't see a woman as a person to complete. I repeat, his eyes were denied the sight to envision a normal life with a wife and maybe some kids. So with no one to kiss, his lips then only kissed the pipe that kept his mandrakes. Flick, woo, flick. Escape. As he passed the pipe to his mate, they would reach a state similar to hate. Evil thoughts would circulate their minds like the smoke that hovered in the room. Their cloudy vision found them knocking on the bedroom door belonging to his mother. Is this what happens to a home with no father? She remained silent with no answer. The door never turned. And because this had happened before she had learned to lock the door, she couldn't take it no more. She knew his intentions were rotten to the core. The door never turned. 1, 2, 3, 4 more times. Her eyes popped out in fear. She started to cry. But you see, tonight she had promised herself she would fight. Fight for her life. And if she had to die, at least she would be free. And just as he kicked down the door, she screamed, but got silenced with violence as she got kicked in her stomach. She tried to crawl to the door, but got hit on the jaw by the fist of the boy who was once her pride and joy. She died inside at the sight of that delight as he smiled to untie his belt. And in her last attempt to fight back is when he landed his last blow that might have broken a few of her bones, leaving her lying on the floor with a broken jaw. She endured every thrust in and out, yet every scream she would let out was to them a motivational sound. She said stop, but they went on as him and his friend took turns as if they were playing chess. They took the necessary steps to discourage her from fighting back. And as thus, she was left with the taste of blood in her mouth. Her stomach turned like her world, which is now upside down. how and why made her cry, because there were no answers, even from the Heavenly Father when she pleaded for it all to stop, but it did not. Now she is caught in the tight grip of hate. And as a result, tonight's dinner plate, a plate filled with hate, a plate that would seal her son's fate, the same plate he would take to share with his mate, the one from the other night, who also found tonight between his mother's thighs. Unknowingly, they ate. The poison was poised in its approach as they watched each other choke on their own blood. And it was at that time he thought of the name of a person he hadn't appreciated in quite a long time. Mama!
Fusi!
Mama!
Fusi! Fusi!
Giving birth to a child is a dream of every ready and matured woman, especially to a woman like me, who had it all: a loving husband and proper support structure from family and friends. Emveni kwamalinga mthoto samukubela wafika egalelekile emhlabeni wena ngongathi uyaleqwa indodana lefana nqoba uyise samamkele wathiywa igama uyise lo nguvusikhaya. Everyone could see the joy in my husband's face and the light in his eyes. Unfortunately, he didn't stay long to see his baby boy grow. He passed away. He was injured at work and succumbed to death. Wakula waqenga umntana. Isa boy. Isa icho. Isa eta. Isa boss. Isa mom icho. Iyo. Ubetheka. Waqenga. Wafikisa. And he went astray.
Sure.
He started by coming home late. Later graduated to not coming home at all.
Yeah.
We were at war. It was survival of the fittest. Kill or be killed. I knew I had to act when he forced himself on me. That you just said again. This man, my worst nightmare became my reality. I gave him a poisoned young.
Sure.
He shared it with his friends, like they shared me. I gave him a poisoned meal. He shared it with his friend, like they shared me. I am ready to join my ancestors. I am ready to join my ancestors.
Yeah.
We should stop running from self at some point. And sex won't fill the void. So unless you've got needles, I don't get the point. Because at some point, these one night stand still leave you lonely at the end. So dear son, Find yourself a woman who knows a place like a man, because you need directions, not new sex positions. I mean, you need a woman who's driven to stay your passion. You need a woman in a changing season, because a storm makes you appreciate her womb than she's a woman who understands being one is strength, because the head needs a strong neck to stand. So you need a woman as much as she needs a man, side by side like bicycle pedals. You two keep the ship moving, so keep loving. This is how you keep living, keep believing. Unfaithful is the non-believer. See, if he speaks of forever, then that's a deceiver. See, you need a woman who's also a mother to turn you into a father figure to shape the future. See, you need a sister to assist in life's assignments. You two were assigned tonight, the Holy Trinity. Then it will eventually grow into a family tree. If you could be ready to be what it takes to be a human being that can withstand, yet understand that hand in hand, we have the upper hand. See, you two need to be understanding like foundation for these walls to stand. This is how homes are built. Guys still having fun? Okay, welcome. We're still having fun, guys? Yeah. Okay, we told you guys about Eve's apple. Yes. Eve's apple. When it comes
to shine, cut out to five while I'm bringing that stuff. Gotta go to school and trying to improve my life. See, otherwise we gon' hustle non-stop. Hustle to the puppets, cut out to shine. Wake up, slung a bone, roll a doobie. Hustle with a team, if you lose, we might lose. They fast asleep, young boys busy drooling. Where your ass up, sonny, and kept pushing. Rap music, my flow, man, is close to flowing. See how chill we ain't cutting scenes. I say it like it is, you know what I mean? This ain't no movie, this is me in real life. I live my inside, man, in each and every line. I bleed rhymes, my veins got punchlines. Ill mind, fast up, but tough luck. Cut out the 5, it's cut out the 5, but I'm reading non-stop. Gotta go to school and try to improve my life. Otherwise we gon' hustle non-stop. Hustle to the puppets, cut out to shine. Cut out to 5, but I'm reading non-stop. Gotta go to school and try to improve my life. Otherwise we gon' hustle non-stop. Hustle to the puppets, cut out to shine.
See, these are stories told by time, interpreted by the writer's pen. I shall plead my sin, the truth I shall regain. Not only recite what I've seen, for